What was it like doing that scene with the fake baby?
Oh,
Was that
bro,
weird?
It's so funny. I was just talking about that 2 days ago, dude. And you know, I've come full circle.
Yeah?
I actually think it's dope.
Really?
I think it's fucking
Why?
dope.
Welcome to Rogan Recap Show, where we squeeze a 1 hour and 54-minute conversation into about 15 minutes so you catch the big ideas, the wild moments, and the takeaways in one quick hit. This week, Joe welcomes Oscar-nominated actor and director Bradley Cooper to the studio. Cooper is promoting his new film, Is This Thing On? A gritty, authentic look at the stand-up comedy world. But as you might expect on the JRE, their conversation quickly expands beyond the silver screen. We're talking about the surprising evolution of comedy culture, the intense demands of method acting, and the existential threats and strange promises of AI. If you've ever wondered what it takes to embody a real-life hero, or how the internet actually saved stand-up comedy, this recap cuts through the noise. We'll give you the signal so you can decide if this full episode is worth your time. First up, let's talk about the surprising evolution of stand-up comedy. Joe and Bradley, who directed and co-wrote the film, Is This Thing On? About a comedian, discuss how the internet completely reshaped the scene. Back in the 90s, comedy was a cutthroat game. Everyone was vying for a sitcom deal or a spot on late-night TV, leading to backstabbing, psychological warfare, and a deeply competitive environment.
And then the internet came around. And then the internet, instead of people being your competitors, they became not just your friends and not just your colleagues, but also an asset. Because if you're doing a podcast and you've got your funny friends on, then your podcast is better.
Right.
And then if you tell people about their podcast, then their podcast is better. And then you go on their podcast and that's better. And everybody benefits from everybody else doing well. So it completely reversed the system. And then it became much more about being supportive of each other. And then everybody kind of realized, like, hey, it's way more fun when we're all having fun, you know? And since the television thing kind of died off, the sitcom thing kind of died off with reality shows. And then it was really just more about getting clips up on the internet and then there was Netflix specials. So it wasn't just everybody trying to get an HBO special. There was way more specials. And then you could just upload specials to YouTube and it became this way more collaborative, supportive environment. And then Ari Shaffir took that we had kind of like established in LA and brought that to New York, and a lot of those guys ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go. People always say, you know, there's a lot of room at the top.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of room in stand-up for sure.
You know, and it's like, and everybody has their own lane, even within this big highway.
Uh-huh.
And everybody wants to be with other people. Who wants to be a lone wolf, really, for a long period of time?
Yeah. There's a few out there, but they're all psychologically destroyed. They're just a mess.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to have friends? It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't get it. But, you know, it's that aspect of the culture I felt like in the movie you guys nailed, which is a realistic aspect.
Good.
A realistic portrayal of what it's like, where a bunch of people they were all busting each other's balls.
Yeah,
and
oh yeah,
having
exactly.
fun.
Yeah, you could be supportive and still honest.
Yeah.
But with the rise of the internet, things changed. Suddenly, comedians could build their own audiences online, create their own content, and collaborate with peers. This shift transformed competitors into assets, fostering a supportive community where everyone benefits from each other's success. It's a far cry from the old days and a refreshing take on how technology can build rather than destroy. Next, we dive into Bradley Cooper's intense approach to acting, particularly when portraying real-life figures. He shares insights from his roles as Chris Kyle in American Sniper and Leonard Bernstein in Maestro, emphasizing the immense responsibility and dedication required. For American Sniper, Cooper gained over 50 pounds, meticulously trained with actual SEALs, and even worked with a voice coach 5 days a week to nail Chris Kyle's accent. He talks about the fuel of playing a real person, the desire to honor their legacy and serve their families. This commitment means not just physical transformation, but a deep psychological immersion that blurs the lines between actor and character. Finally, the conversation touches on the double-edged sword of modern technology and the enduring human need for connection. Joe and Bradley explore the addictive nature of short-form content, the memory-altering effects of digital experiences, and the unsettling rise of AI companions. They ponder whether these advancements are truly progress or just a new form of escapism. Despite the allure of AI, both agree that genuine human interaction, the shared experience of art, and the messy, unpredictable nature of life are irreplaceable. Let's dig deeper into one of the most talked about moments from American Sniper, the infamous fake baby scene. Bradley reveals the behind-the-scenes story of how that doll ended up on screen.
So we had 3 sets of twins, and Clint likes to shoot fast, which I loved and love. And they were crying and they weren't ready, and he was like, "You know what? Let's just let's put the doll in." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right." And I had the doll, and I remember, and I made a joke on set, and I was like, "I just saved you $35,000 because I moved his hand with my thumb."
Yeah.
You know, like I saved visual effects like $50,000, like made a joke about it. And then we got to post, and we were in Vancouver doing the meeting, but you know, everybody defers to the boss. I still remember being in a room, and I'm like a theater, we're watching, and they're like, "Okay, Clint, so we did this, and you know, the tank has dirt on it, and you know, whatever visual effects they had done." We get to the baby. They're like, "Okay, Clint, this is this scene," and it ends, and I'm literally behind Clint. I just see the back of his head, and I'm waiting for everybody to raise their hand. Like, we got to spend more money and make the kid real. And I think the kid had like 2 fingers too. Like, they weren't even. It was like an AI. Yeah, that's
Here it is.
Yeah, that's it. That's me. I'm doing that. That's it. But dude, it's kind of dope. I love it now. I've come full circle. And I raised my hand, and I was like, "Clint, I just think that it's clear, you know, that that's not a baby. And can we at least just find out what the cost would be?" And no one said anything. And then I remember he was like, "Nah, I think we move on."
Wow.
And that was it, dude. And that was it. And I was like, okay. And I remember talking to the other producer. I was like, "This is going to come back." I was like,
Cooper recounts how Clint Eastwood, prioritizing efficiency, opted for the doll when the real babies weren't cooperating. Bradley even tried to subtly animate the doll's hand himself. He admits he initially pushed back, fearing how audiences would react, but Eastwood simply moved on. Now, Cooper has come full circle, finding the raw commitment of the actors to the doll dope. This anecdote highlights a larger point about the craft of acting: the willingness to fully commit to an illusion, even when the circumstances are absurd. It's about creating belief not just for the audience but for yourself as the performer. The conversation then takes a fascinating turn into the future of human connection with the advent of AI, specifically touching on AI companions and sex bots. Joe brings up a recent CES reveal of an AI-powered sex doll, sparking a discussion about the potential for these technologies to create a generation of sociopaths who never learn real human interaction.
You're going to have this thing that loves you no matter what and does whatever you want it to, no matter what. And you're going to have like a whole nation of fucking sociopaths that only interact with their AI companion.
yeah, maybe. But whenever these, like, you know, thinking about AI, and I read this great book called The Maniac by Benjamin Lebatut, who talked about Jan Newman, and like it's I stopped fearing AI, and it's thought about like, it's just like, you know, there's so much I don't know. The older I get, I don't know anything. I just keep knowing less.
Right.
And it feels like if that's the evolution, that's the evolution. There's so much disparate communication now. Porn is such a huge thing. It's just another level of porn. You know, it's a
Right.
carnal level of porn, really. But when I think about me as a human being, that's really the only litmus test, is like, I'm constantly like, is this person telling me what they really think? You know, is this real?
Right.
I think that there, at least if I was doing that, right, and I was sitting at home, there'd be a part of me that knows that I'm controlling all of that.
Uh-huh.
And that's not what really makes me feel serene.
You know what it's like?
Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
It's like playing a video game on God mode where you can't die.
Right.
They're no fun.
And you know what? For some reason, video games, I had Nintendo Tecmo Bowl, you know, Double Dribble, but I never, Zelda, you know, but I just never got into video games. I never want to control everything. It's like I want to be in the thing that's surprising, and I'm having to recalculate and understand why I feel this way. Yeah, so I don't know if I think
Bradley, while acknowledging the unsettling implications, offers a more nuanced view, suggesting that such advancements are simply another progression of escapism, akin to other forms of porn. He argues that while AI can mimic connection, it lacks the essential element of unpredictability and the need for mutual effort that defines real human relationships. The God mode of controlling everything ultimately robs us of genuine experience and growth. Time for the Rogan Scorecard, our playful meta-review of this episode. The curse-o-meter for this one is a solid Gordon Ramsay light. Joe and Bradley drop a fair few F-bombs, especially when discussing the fake baby or the future of AI, but it never feels gratuitous. More like passionate emphasis. Rabbit hole rating? A respectable 7 out of 10. They start with stand-up, pivot to acting, then deep dive into AI, human purpose, and the nature of reality itself. It's a winding path but always engaging. And for Bradley Cooper's guest Coherence Score, we're giving him a 9 out of 10. Articulate, thoughtful, and deeply reflective, Cooper navigates complex topics with ease, offering personal anecdotes that always tie back to larger themes. A truly grounded and insightful guest. If this recap helped you decode Bradley Cooper's insights on acting, comedy, and the future of humanity without burning 2 hours, then we've done our job. If this helped you get the signal without the noise, hit like so other time poor Rogan fans can find it. Also, be sure to subscribe for more 15-minute breakdowns of every JRE episode, from stand-up legends to heavyweight scientists to full-tilt conspiracy theorists. We break it all down for you. Let us know in the comments, what was your biggest takeaway from Bradley Cooper? And did the fake baby and American Sniper bother you? Find the full JRE episode and all guest links in the description below. Want more from Bradley Cooper? He was on the JRE to promote his film, Is This Thing On?, which offers a raw look into the world of stand-up comedy. You can also catch his incredible performance as Leonard Bernstein in the Netflix film Maestro, which he also directed and co-wrote. Of course, he's known for a long list of iconic roles, including his Oscar-nominated turn as Chris Kyle in American Sniper, and his powerhouse performance alongside Lady Gaga in A Star Is Born. Cooper also mentions his time on the classic sitcom News Radio and the spy thriller series Alias. His extensive filmography showcases his versatility and deep commitment to his craft. This episode with Bradley Cooper is a deep dive into the human condition itself, from the struggle for artistic authenticity to the search for meaning in a rapidly changing, technology-driven world. It's a testament to the idea that true fulfillment comes from challenging ourselves, connecting with others, and embracing the messy, unpredictable journey of life. It leaves us wondering, as AI advances, how will we preserve the unique, irreplaceable elements of human experience? And can we truly find purpose when our traditional roles are challenged? Beyond these weekly recaps, don't forget to check out our Rogan Deep Dives, roughly 30-minute topic anthologies that synthesize high-impact clips from various JRE episodes into structured, entertaining narratives. These deep dives provide existing fans with comprehensive overviews of Joe Rogan's stance on recurring themes like aliens, DMT, or ancient civilizations. It's the perfect way to get even more signal without the noise. Hit subscribe for more of this, and remember, all links to the full episode, Bradley Cooper's work, and our community poll are in the description. Thanks for watching.